Yeah, hi there, Igor. This is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to pass the TOEFL IBT. And my goodness, you are doing everything right now. This is impressive. Let's take a look at what you're saying here. Say, thank you for your activation. I started to learn your course in order to improve my score on the future TOEFL exam. I need at least 109, and then your current TOEFL test you took was 54, so you had 6 on the reading, 8 on the listening, 20 on the speaking, 20 on the writing. So what you're doing right now, number 1, you started to learn my course. 2, you're practicing with various TOEFL tests from KAPLAN, Barrons, Cambridge. 3, learning Cambridge, preparation for the TOEFL test book. 4, remembering, learning and remembering your 1,700 words, learning the TOEFL IBT official guide, subscribe to The Economist with their audio edition. So it's a good opportunity to read. You're learning TOEFL Activator books. You installed a satellite so you can get BBC, CNN, and Bloomberg channels so you can watch them to work on your excuse me, so you can work on your listening skills, right? Now, here's my advice now. The only thing I'm worried about right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's say that you are a long-distance runner and you want to run a marathon. So your marathon, let's say, is your TOEFL test date of February 16th. So you know that the more you run, the faster you're going to get if you do it over an extended period of time. But what you want to do is to do all your training in 4 weeks to get ready for that one test on February 16th. I think you might be making the mistake here of doing too much. You have so many things you're working on right now and you're studying. You have a very good possibility of getting what I call TOEFLitis. TOEFLitis means you become so obsessed with the TOEFL exam that you're missing the real picture here, which is to work on improving your academic English proficiency. Now, I think what you want to do here is you can expect at best about 10 points of improvement for every month that you study TOEFL. If you do that, even that's pretty good. So a month from now, you're at 64. 2 months from now, you're at 74. 3 months from now, you're at 84. Then 4 months, 94. 5 months, 104. 6 months, maybe you get to 109. But I also have to be honest with you. Not everybody can score 109. Now, usually, and remember that I have interviewed many TOEFL students, especially those who get over 100. Now, what I notice is, Igor, all of these people used English from a very early age, from about 8 or 9, all the way up until they took the test. They also practiced reading for many years. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible for you to get 109, but if you haven't been using English for 8 or 10 years, in many cases, it's not realistic to try to get that high of a score. Now, maybe 80, maybe 90 is possible. Now, I'm not saying that 109 is not possible. I'm just saying that it's very difficult to get that kind of a score. And you're doing so much right now in so many different areas, you have a very good chance of burning out. Psychologically, you can burn out with all this study. So what I recommend is look at your study plan more as all of these materials that you're using. These are good for about 5 or 6 months here. You got 5 or 6 months of learning materials based on what you're telling me in this email. Now, the first thing with my online course, for maybe the first month or so, I would focus almost exclusively on the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar parts of my course, right? First of all. That would be maybe your first 2 months. Now, with all these other materials, I would also focus on number 6, about reading The Economist magazine and listening to the audio versions. I think you want to do that along with my course. I think that would be really useful. I think number 8's also very wise. The BBC, CNN, and Bloomberg channels, watching those channels and reading the magazine, I think those things are going to be very good. Now, what I'm saying is I would take number 2, the TOEFL, KAPLAN, Barrons, Cambridge. The TOEFL prep books you're using, I would save them. Once you get your score closer to about 80 or 90, that's when those books are going to come in handy. Because right now, based on your score, Igor, you want to build your academic English first by working on some of the basics. And once you have a good foundation of English, then you can start focusing on the TOEFL type books and things. Everything is good if you do it at the right time. Is that making any sense? So I think for maybe the first 3 months, focus on building your English proficiency first. Once you feel like you have a very good command of the language, then you can start narrowing your study to the TOEFL prep stuff. Now with my website, the first 3 sections will help you with your basic English proficiency, right? And then once you get into the speaking and the writing parts of my course, that's where you'll be posting practice tests, having me score them. You can start posting some of those practice tests right now, and maybe it's a good time right now to tell you a little bit about my essay skills improvement service. I do have a service. It's not inexpensive. I'm not going to say it's really expensive, but it's not going to be cheap either. But sometimes students, when they're completing my independent and integrated writing practice tests, they want me to do a video correcting all of the errors in the entire essay. Now, for me to do this, it takes about 60 minutes, between 30 and 60 minutes. Now, if you want me to video correct one of your essays, you simply need to make a payment of $50. You can just email me the payment from your PayPal account, and then you tell me which essay you want me to video correct, and then I would do that. You don't have to make a big investment. You can just do one essay, I'll video correct that. Then in another week, you might want me to do another one, and I'll be happy to do that. So that's kind of how that service works. So the purpose of that essay skills improvement service that you mentioned is to help you become aware of what your grammatical errors are and how you can revise those errors. Also, I will point out any structural problems you're having with the essay. I will even rewrite your thesis if I need to. I will add some details from some of those body paragraphs if I think you need more development. I will completely rewrite the essay to show you what it would take to get 30 out of 30 on the essay that you emailed me. So that's kind of how that essay skills improvement service works. It's $50 for each essay that you send me. So you can try it out. You can do it once. If you like that service, you can send me more essays down the line over the next few months as you solve your English language proficiency difficulties. Anyway, thank you for your comments. And remember, be careful of doing too much too soon. Pace yourself. The best advice I can give you right now is spend about 2 to 3 hours of TOEFL study each day right now, and then the rest of the day, read magazines, read books, read newspapers, watch TV, do those kinds of things. You can't just sit with your head in a TOEFL book all day long. You have to actually get used to authentic English also. All right? And all the best, Igor, to your high-scoring TOEFL success.